Guys, and welcome to episode 24 of Global Contenders, the review series for Gran Turismo's touring car selection, both real and fictional. And this particular vehicle is a real touring car, one of the longest standing touring cars on Gran Turismo, I think at least as far back as Gran Turismo 3. And it's always been a really good car, a very dependable car, a strong touring car, a very good handling car as well. Now, I personally prefer the Calibra of the two Vauxhall / Opel touring cars. I prefer the look, I like that it's all-wheel drive, it's more historically significant, it just has more of a charm to it, whereas the Astra's a much more aggressive, get the job done kind of vehicle, and of the two, the Astra is the superior car in most ways. Now, it's cheaper for a start than the Calibra. It's a 1 million credit car, and that's actually really good value because this is a real DTM machine and it's cheaper than pretty much all of the other DTM machines. That's pretty good. Now, what do you get? Well, you get a 4-litre V8, it's rear-wheel drive, and fully tuned, you're looking at one of the highest power outputs of any touring car. 805 horsepower, that's even more than the Mercedes CLK. It also puts out 567 foot-pounds of torque and weighs exactly 1,000 kilos, aka 1 tonne. As such, the horsepower per tonne is very easy to work out, of course. It's 805, exactly the same as the power. Now, the fully tuned PP is 636, which is pretty much where you'd expect it to be, around the 630, 640 region, alongside the Mercedes. And I would say that this is quite possibly the best touring car in the game overall. Because although the Mercedes CLK is the fastest of the DTM touring cars in a straight line, the Astra just has a few notable advantages over that model. Now, personally, I prefer the Mercedes. It has a higher top speed, it's a better looking car, I would say, and I do think that the Mercedes has slightly better handling. But the reason why I would say that the Astra is possibly the best all-round DTM car is because of the value. The Astra is a full 150,000 credits cheaper than the Mercedes, and it's a more powerful vehicle. Now, as I said, the Mercedes is still quicker for top-end performance, but if you're talking sheer value for money, the Astra is a very hard deal to beat. And although I would say the Mercedes is a little bit smoother and more beginner-friendly than the Astra is easily just as good around most tracks. Now, the Astra is, I would say, a more aggressive car than the Mercedes. It's still not difficult to drive at all. It has very good handling, but it's, I would say, as I said, the more aggressive of the two. It's capable of being a definite professional driver's machine as well as just a beginner-friendly vehicle, and it's highly competitive. The Astra, along with the Mercedes, and to some degree, although not necessarily on the same level, the 155 and the Calibra, are vehicles which are very notable in the touring car class because they go beyond just being good touring cars. They're just good race cars in general, and they're so good, in fact, that they can actually take on other classes of race car as well, such as GT machines, and in some cases, under the right circumstances, even some prototypes. These cars, for instance, the Mercedes, the Astra, could give a vehicle like the Zytek, the Nissan Zytek Z11 SN, a fantastic run for its money, especially on a track that allows them to use their top-end power. Now, overall, would I recommend this Astra instead of any other DTM car or touring car in general? Potentially, yes, because it really is that good. Now, if you do decide to buy the Mercedes instead, you certainly won't be disappointed. It's a brilliant car as well. They are, I would say, the two best touring cars in the game. But whichever one you go for, you get a fantastic machine. If you're looking for a touring car, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a DTM machine, but just a touring car in general, this is a superb vehicle to go for. It's reliable, it's consistent, it's very, very driver-friendly, it has excellent levels of grip, control, drivability, obviously handling, the brakes are very good, and it's extremely powerful. So overall, there's not really much else to say about this car that you don't already know. It's just one of those cars, like vehicles such as the Nissan GTR and various others, that You don't really need to go in depth into it to realise just how good a machine it is. It's very obvious, its talent is very near to the surface, and pretty much anyone can appreciate it. It's just a genuinely good car. So that's it overall for this particular pick. I'll see you guys next time, and as always, thanks for watching.